Good day everyone. This topic is all about biotic components. So, what is biotic components? Biotic components or biotic factors can be described as any living components that affect another organisms or shape the ecosystem. This includes both animals that consume other organisms within their ecosystems and the organism that is being consumed. Biotic factors also include human influence, pathogens, and disease outbreaks. Its biotic factors need a proper amount of energy and nutrition to function healthily. So, biotic components are typically sorted into three main categories. Number one, producers. Number two, consumers. Number three, decomposers. So let us start of producers. Producers include plants and some blue-green algae which can make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. They are called autotrophs. Number 2. Consumers. Consumers depend on producers directly or indirectly. Herbivores directly eating plants are called primary consumers while carnivores consuming herbivores are called secondary consumers. On the last, decomposers. Decomposers to there are organisms with specialized mode of nutrition. So, example, bacteria, fungi, they, constant, they constantly decompose dead organic materials into simple inorganic substances. That's all and thank you.
So, good day everyone. I'm Shaina Ibonia and today I'm going to report the example of biotic components. So, biotic describes a living component of an ecosystem such as plants and animals. The example of biotic components are water, light, wind, soil, humidity, minerals, and gases. All living things, autotrophs and heterotrophs. So, autotrophs is known as a producer because they are able to make their own food from raw materials and energy. So, heterotrophs is an organism that eats other plants or animals for energy and nutrients.
Everyone, I'm Prisami and I'll be discussing the biotic components of the ecosystem. What is biotic component? Biotic components are the living organism in an ecosystem. Biotic components or biotic factors can be described as any living component that affects another organism or shapes the ecosystem. How can biotic components be sorted? They are sorted into three groups: the producers, consumers, and the decomposers. Producers or autotrophs is an organism that can produce its own food using light, water, carbon dioxide, and other chemicals. Examples of it are plants and algae because they are capable of photosynthesis. Autotrophs can also be called as the producers because they produce their own food. Next is the heterotrophs, are known as consumers because they consume producers or other consumers. Examples of it are dog, birds, fish, and humans, like us, because we consume the food they produce. Like atong ginakaon sa pang-adlaw-adlaw kay bali bunga sa plant, atong gihimong pagkaon. So we are called as the consumers. Heterotrophs also occupy the second and third levels in a food chain, a sequence of organisms that provide energy and nutrients for other organisms. Lastly is the detritivore, is an organism that eats dead or decaying plants or animals as food. Examples of detritivores are millipedes, earthworms, crabs, flies, and etc. Also, detritivores include microorganisms such as bacteria and larger organisms such as fungi, insects, worms, and some crustaceans. Maning kaning, for example, is worms or wati na kanang nagpuyo na sa lupa. They are detritivores. Let's eat worms. That ends my part, and thank you for listening.